Everything you experience begins from inside your mind, because your mind builds reality from what it thinks is true. Not from what you want,
but from what you believe without questioning. The ideas that feel obvious, the assumptions you carry into every situation. Your mind then looks for proof.
It notices what confirms those beliefs and filters out what doesn't. And over time, your life starts to mirror that thinking. That's why the same patterns can repeat even when you try harder. If what feels true stays the same, the results often do too. But when your thinking changes even slightly, your awareness shifts. You see new options. You respond differently. You move with more confidence. Not because the world changed, but because your mind did. And when what you believe becomes more aligned, your reality follows naturally. Change the belief, change the result. We don't see reality how it is. We see reality how we are. That's really the truth. So you have to think about what thoughts you do want to fire and wire in your brain. And a belief is just a thought. You keep thinking over and over again. You keep with intention, and with attention, keep installing the circuitry to remember to think that way.
I swear your biology will be mapped as a thought that would be the new voice in your head that said you can. Life is just the one day. You born in the one day, and you live in the one day. You die in the one day. Everything what happening in the one day. Today is the only your life.
Yesterday is already dead. Too late. Tomorrow is not born. Too early. What you have is today. Today is the only life. Today is not the little part of life. Today is life. It's all yes.
Don't murmur. Don't if you're God. And you tour the earth to the planet you created, and you meet your creations, and you walk up to your creation, and you say,
"Oh, creation, what do you think of this earth? Thing I've created for you?" And in it he says, "Well, God, I'm glad you showed up. I got a bone to pick with you." I'm like, why? If you're God, why wouldn't you make the temperature nice all the time? Why do you have to make it so damn hot in the summer and so cold INTHE1INTR? Pios, Yayu Med AL, Tesa RID and GPLEOHOGT in my way? This late TLFE route Anastasia Abo Teshes AANDHEI Butti MYSSAN I Tesh HYTHEHLDDIU Doi Teshet. No. If you're God and you create this beautiful place and you go to your creation and all they do is complain, how's that going to feel to you? You're going to want to hang out with this person. Let's say you go to another one of your creations. You go, "Hey, I'm God. I'm your God. Just showed up to say hi. Want to know how you're doing here. What you think of this earth thing." And a person says, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's you. Oh, I wanted to share with you how grateful I am for this planet, for this world you've created for us. It's so amazing. It's always changing. It's never the same. It's hot. It's cold. THRLYSFETYIR Bard. And you made these crazy people that challenge me to grow. Rayantes, Ty-R-E-1 Mum, A-O-I-N-Chmam-Y, Sai-Z, T-A-Y-B-T-M-Y-A-S-S, T-I-S-A-O-O-A-Jos, I-T-S-I-M-A-Z-I-N-Ju.
Namo, if you're God.
Who you going to hang out with, the first person or the second person? I promise you, you start giving, you'll start feeling grateful. If you're in a state of gratitude, it makes total sense. Then you will accept belief and surrender the thoughts that are equal to that emotional state.
You could actually program your autonomic nervous system to make the pharmacy of chemicals that causes growth and repair to happen in the body.
You start feeling gratitude. You start feeling more gratitude. You start feeling love. You start feeling more love. You start feeling kindness. You start feeling care. You start feeling appreciation. You start feeling creative. You start feeling inspired. You practice feeling those emotions. Don't talk negative.
And you get that heart of yours back into balance. We discover that once energy makes it to the heart, it's going right to the brain. And it's going to go straight up and go straight up, and it's going to tell the brain in that moment the heart is the creative center. It's safe to create. When people understand what they're doing and they understand why they're doing it, the how gets easier. If you can teach people to do the exact opposite,
go from putting all of their attention on everything physical and material in the duration, and instead of narrowing their focus on something material, ask them to broaden their focus and put it on nothing. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but when you put your attention on space and you divert your attention, the act of sensing without thinking actually starts to slow the brain waves down. Down. Not only slow it down, but all of a sudden cause the brain to start reintegrating, starts to synchronize, right?
so you see different compartments of the brain that were firing out of order start to resonate. They start to communicate. They're all of a sudden synchronizing. And what syncs in the brain kind of links in the brain. So, when a person has their whole entire brain firing in rhythm signal that you can send out into the field, attraction is a secondary law.
Vibration is the primary law. Everything vibrates. The law of vibration decrees that nothing rests. Everything moves.
We can put ourselves into the vibration that we have to be in to attract what we want to attract. And when you understand it,
you're going to move into a whole new world. Most people set a goal and then wait for it to happen. It's never going to happen. You've got to assume that it's already happened. It's already happened. Mentally, it's already happened. It's happened because got the idea in my conscious mind. Then I've got to get emotionally involved in it. I've got it intellectually. I've got it emotionally. It's only a period of time till it moves into form. How does it move into form? while you attract whatever required for it to move into form. You attract all the energy that's necessary to produce the physical result. How do you do that? You do that by intellectually, emotionally staying in the vibration of the good that you desire. You see it already in the present tense. So, that keeps you on the frequency. Frequency then dictates what you're going to attract. You can only attract to you what's in harmonious vibration with you. You must assume that you already are what you want to be, and then live by faith in this assumption. You don't need evidence of your senses. You have a tendency to believe that what your eyes and ears tell you is reality. But this is what we know by our senses. You know, it's like a millionth of a millimeter. And all that is unknown is in the invisible, in the imagination. You'll see it when you believe it, not the other way around. People will say, well, I'll believe it when I see it. It doesn't work that way. You'll see it when inside you have a knowing. Most of our attention is focused on this is my beliefs and my disbeliefs about what is possible and what isn't possible are here. It's an endless universe. You don't have to know how you're going to build your company. You don't have to know how you're going to become financially independent. You don't have to know any of these things. You only have to know it can happen. It can happen, and you can make it happen. Affirmations are the most powerful words that you can possibly say. Affirmations are based on what he would call the 3 Ps. In that, with affirmations, we reprogram ourselves unconsciously. Affirmations are strong, positive, assertive statements that you say about yourself to yourself and believe. And they're based on the 3 Ps. And the Ps are first of all personal. All affirmations, all statements that you say to yourself have to be couched in the personal tense. The I. If you say, I like myself. When you say, I like myself, it accesses the subconscious directly. Every single command that begins with an I opens the subconscious mind and says, valuable information coming down. Prepare or get ready. And also positive. All affirmative statements must be couched in the positive tense, because the subconscious mind filters out negatives and only takes the positive expression. For example, if you wanted to quit smoking, you wouldn't say, I don't smoke anymore. I don't smoke anymore. You would say, I am a non-smoker. I am a non-smoker. The words I am are 2 of the most powerful words in mental programming. When you say I am, because only you can say I am about you in the whole world. Nobody else can use those 2 words with regard to you. Your subconscious recognizes that when you say, I am responsible, you can actually feel their effect on your emotions. Now the third is that they must be in the present tense. Not I will lose weight, or I will quit smoking, or I will get a better job. but I have a better job. I weigh X number of pounds. I earn X number of dollars. Don't talk negative. Whatever it happens to be, you always place it in the present tense because the subconscious mind can only take language that is couched in the now. Now is going to work out perfectly for you. All the right things are going to happen to you in your life. Don't talk negative. All the right people are going to enter your life, and all the wrong people are going to leave in your life. You're going to have a beautiful home in your life. You're going to have a great career throughout your life. You're going to have a great career throughout your life. You're going to waken up every day of your life next to the love of your life. You're going to have leisurely Sundays and terrific holidays. You're going to travel and see the world. Talk negative. You're going to meet incredible people in your life who can help and who you will help in ways that you could believe possible. You're going to be recognized as a hugely successful person and appreciated for this ability. You have to help others. Please don't worry. Your life is going to work out perfectly. I suggest that you read this to yourself every morning and last thing at night over the next 6 months, and the change that will happen to you will be unbelievable. Money is a reward received for service rendered. Be prepared to do more than you're being paid for. That is something that all successful people will tell you. Fall in love with what you're doing. Fill a demand. If you're not earning the amount of money you want, or that you need to live the way you want to live, there's a problem. There's a misunderstanding or a lack of understanding about a law of compensation. This law is exact. It works for every person. Every time when we understand it, it clearly states the amount of money you earn is always going to be an exact ratio to number one, the need for what you do. Number two, your ability to do it. And number three, the difficulty there is in replacing it. Things will make you happy, growing and giving. They're the only thing to give you lasting happiness. If you're not growing, you will not be happy. If you grow, you'll be happy. The best part of growing is everything in the universe either grows or it dies. Is it true? If your relationship is not growing, it's dying. If your business is not growing, don't yourself, it's dying. There's no plateaus in life. We grow or we die. That is the universal rule of the universe, not Tony Robbins' rule. But there's something beautiful about it. When we grow, we become more. And when we become more, we have more to give. When we give is when our life has the most meaning. See, what you get will not make you happy. Who you become will make you very happy or very sad. Negative. So if you want an extraordinary life, here's what I've learned. An extraordinary life, you have to become a creator, not a manager of your circumstances. My biases have you leave here where you have a compelling future in you moving towards something that's the extraordinary life you want, and that you've made progress while you're here. Massive progress. But also what I want to make sure is you have a clear idea of what you need to become for a lasting life of success and fulfillment and joy and happiness.
That is changing from what most people are. Most people settle. Most people are managing what's going on, managing their head, managing emotion.
They're not mastering it. If you master yourself, you become a creator. We were all created by something. I don't know what you believe. I'm not here to tell you what to believe religiously. But how many know something created you? Make some noise if you got that. Call it God.
Call it the universe. Call it whatever you want to call it.
We were made for something. We were made to create. We can create love, or we can create pain. We can create joy or anger and rage. And every moment you have the ability to create. And it doesn't matter what happens to the outside world. If you have the outside control you, then you're part of the culture, and you will suffer. You're one of the many. If you're a leader, you create your own culture. You decide how your business is going to be, how your family's going to be, how your family's going to be, regardless of what other people think or say. There's something inside you that decides, that owns it. An autonomy beyond any conditioning you've had in your life. Our mind is the control tower of our life. Whatever happens in our life starts right here. Don't talk negative. All of our decisions are there. And the truth is, whatever we are today is the result of what we've been thinking about all those years. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you don't like what's going on around you, maybe you should ask yourself the question, what am I thinking about? What do I think about myself? What do I think about other people? Because what we think about is really what controls us. For example, our relationship to God. Our relationship to each other. Our sense of direction in life. Whatever we accomplish. Our failures in life. All of that is a result of the way we think. Oftentimes we forget that this is a control tower, that everything else is a result of how we think, controlling our thoughts, because this controls everything. What you created was not an accident. It was an activation of your conscious wishes, desires, and aspirations. You already did create heaven on earth. The issue is what happened to it, and I said, the interference from the subconscious. If you understand the programming and how that programming is the default behavior, and you understand how you can rewrite that programming, you're given an opportunity to eliminate the negative programs in your subconscious that have been sabotaging you, and instead replace them with behaviors that correspond with your wishes and desires. When you do that, so that your conscious mind and your subconscious mind have the same program, then guess what? At that moment, on there,
Whether you're paying attention or whether you're not paying attention, you'll be engaged in the honeymoon experience. It never has to go away.
the honeymoon is an experience that you could have your whole life. This is why we were here. We were here to create heaven on earth. The one time you did it is when you fell in love. Could have stayed that way if you understood the mechanisms we have described here. But when you do understand the mechanisms, it says you can go back and recreate that and make it a permanent way of life. You were born into heaven. Don't talk negative. You've experienced it once or more, and you can do it again and again and again, because that's how powerful you are. You are a creator, and you are in heaven. When you use your creation, you will manifest heaven every day in your life and enjoy the beauty of a living experience on this wonderland.
Nothing can be achieved until first it's believed. You have to believe it to see it. Sometimes the easiest way to get what you want is to just start.
To just take that first step. You can do and be anything that you want, no matter what. No matter what you've been told and conditioned to think growing up. Talk negative. Start from today to believe that you can. I want you to realize for the rest of your life, you have a job. Oh, now you're negative. And your job is to make sure that when that default network kicks back up, and you start to murmur that you're too old, you're not smart enough. Good enough. That is a moment where you have got to do a mindset reset. This isn't the voice of God talking to me. This is some programming that's set on default. I don't have to live my life, and I don't have to have a future where I constantly say things that are negative to myself. This is the most miraculous thing that I've ever heard. But the point is that if you don't get deliberate, you will be stuck with the default mode of thinking. So your personality, literally, is made up of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. You think how you act and how you feel is your personality, and your personality is intimately connected to your personal reality, your life. So then if you want to change your life, your personal reality, you got to change your personality. And here we go again. You got to start becoming conscious of your unconscious thoughts. You got to start noticing how you act, how you speak. You got to pay attention to how you're feeling. Some people would live in guilt their whole entire life and don't even know it's guilt cause at least it feels like them. So then, when you start doing that, you begin to objectify your subjective self. So then, when you begin to make small changes back to thought, a new thought should lead to a new choice. A new choice should lead to a new behavior. A new behavior should create a new experience. And a new experience should create a new emotion. Yes, new emotion is teaching your body chemically to understand what your mind is intellectually understood. Now, your body is embodying the truth.
Yeah.
Your expectations largely determine the quality of your life in this sense, is that whatever you expect with confidence becomes your self-fulfilling prophecy. You are always telling your future. By other words, you are always telling your future. By the way you talk about how you think things are going to turn out. You were like a fortune teller in your own life. And if you believe that things are going to turn out well, if you expect them to turn out well, by gum they do.
If you believe that you're going to be popular and that people are going to buy and that you have a great product, and you're a great company, and you're going to have a great life, and you're going to be accepted and well received by people, and then you act that way.
So it's very, very important that you always expect the best. And this is the key. Expect the best. To be able to place our attention on what it is that we would like to create for ourselves in our lives. To literally have the power to know that if I think about it and I keep it there and I keep that picture firm within me, that there is an energy, a source, a capacity within me that is in the universe, and that is also